Amara woke with the sun, as she always did. It was her private ritual, a silent conversation with the dawn before the village of Umofia stirred. The first light would spill over the hills, painting the clay walls of their home in shades of soft gold and warm ochre. She would stand at the threshold, her feet bare against the cool earth, and breathe in the scent of the new day, a mix of wood smoke, damp soil, and the sweet perfume of the frangipani blossoms near their compound. This was her kingdom, small but infinite in its meaning. Her pride was not loud or boastful. It was a quiet, steady fire that burned within her, a warmth she carried in her posture and in the gentle, knowing curve of her lips. She was a daughter of this land, and it lived in her bones. She wore her identity like a second skin, woven from the stories of her ancestors and the laughter of her children. Her hair was braided into intricate patterns, each twist telling a story of heritage and belonging, adorned with beads that caught the morning light. Her wrapper, a vibrant tapestry of indigo and yellow, was tied with a practiced grace that spoke of years of tradition. Today, she chose the cloth her mother had given her on her wedding day, a symbol of continuity and the strength passed down through generations of women. She saw her reflection not in a mirror of glass, but in the world around her. In the sturdy baobab tree at the center of the village, in the determined flow of the nearby stream, and in the resilient spirit of her people. Amara's pride was rooted in a deep understanding of who she was and where she came from. It was not a rejection of the outside world, but a profound celebration of her own. She knew the names of the herbs that could soothe a child's fever, and the songs that could coax the yams to grow plump and sweet in the soil. She understood that her role was not one of subservience, but of partnership and profound influence. Her voice, though often soft, carried the weight of wisdom, and when she spoke in the Council of Women, others listened. She was a queen in her own right, her crown fashioned not from gold, but from dignity, resilience, and an unshakable love for her community. The village of Umuofia was a living, breathing entity, and Amara was one of its vital organs. Her days were a rhythm of purpose, from grinding millet on the smooth, worn stone to fetching water from the communal well, where the women's chatter was a symphony of shared lives. She did not see these tasks as chores, but as acts of creation and sustenance. Each scoop of water, each measure of grain, was an investment in the future of her family and her people. Her every action was a testament to her belief in the beauty and importance of their way of life, a quiet defiance against a world that often misunderstood or overlooked the richness of her culture. Her pride was her shield and her offering all at once. Amara's husband, Obi, was a carver of wood, a man whose hands were strong yet gentle, capable of coaxing stories from lifeless logs. Their love was a quiet understanding, a language spoken not in grand declarations, but in shared glances across the fire and the comfortable silence that filled their home in the evenings. She was the steady rhythm to his creative spirit, the earth that nourished the roots of his artistry. When he returned from his workshop, tired and covered in sawdust, she would have a bowl of warm fufu and egusi soup waiting for him. It was a simple act, yet it was filled with a universe of love and respect, a daily reaffirmation of their bond. Their home was a sanctuary she had carefully woven together with love and intention. It was more than just walls of mud and a thatched roof. It was a place where their 3 children, 2 boisterous boys and a thoughtful daughter, felt safe and cherished. Amara's days were a tapestry of motherhood. She taught her daughter, Neka, how to plait hair and recognize the best clay for making pots. She taught her sons, Emeka and Chidi, the importance of respecting their elders and the value of hard work. Her lessons were not delivered in lectures, but through stories told under the moonlit sky, tales of cunning tortoises and wise chameleons that imparted lessons of virtue and courage. Family life was a delicate dance of giving and receiving, and Amara was a masterful choreographer. She knew when to be firm and when to be gentle, when to offer guidance and when to allow her children the space to make their own mistakes. She saw her role as a wife and mother not as a limitation, but as a position of immense power and influence. It was she who shaped the character of the next generation, who planted the seeds of integrity and pride in their young hearts. Her love for Obi was the solid foundation upon which their family was built, a love that was patient, enduring, and deeply practical in its expression. Each evening, as the family gathered, their home would fill with the sounds of life, the crackle of the fire, the children's laughter, and Obi's deep voice sharing the day's events. Amara would listen, her hands busy mending a cloth or shelling groundnuts, her presence a calming anchor in the center of it all. She understood that a strong family was the bedrock of a strong community. Her marriage was a partnership in the truest sense. They were two pillars supporting the same roof, each essential, each holding the other up. In nurturing her family, she was nurturing the very future of Umuofia, creating a legacy of love that would ripple outwards. Amara's influence extended far beyond the walls of her own compound. She was a respected voice in the community, a woman whose wisdom was sought by young wives and seasoned elders alike. When a dispute arose between two families over a plot of land, it was Amara who was called upon to mediate. She listened with a patience as deep as the village well, allowing each side to speak their frustrations without interruption. She did not offer a quick solution, but instead spoke of their shared history, of the ancestors who had farmed the land together, reminding them that their bonds were older and stronger than any disagreement. Her words were like a cooling balm on a heated wound, and soon, hands were clasped in reconciliation. She was also the keeper of stories, the living library of Umuofia's traditions. During the New Yam Festival, it was Amara who led the women in the songs of harvest, her voice clear and strong, carrying the gratitude of the entire village. She taught the young girls the intricate steps of the traditional dances, ensuring that the cultural flame was passed from one generation to the next. Her support for her community was not just in times of celebration, but in moments of sorrow as well. When a fever swept through a neighboring family, she was the first to arrive with pots of nourishing broth and bundles of medicinal herbs, her presence a quiet promise that they were not alone. One year, the rains failed to come. The sun beat down relentlessly, cracking the earth and withering the crops. Fear began to creep into the village like a thief in the night. While the men held council and made offerings, Amara organized the women. "The river may be low," she said, her voice steady and resolute, "but it has not vanished. We will conserve what we have, and we will share what we gather." She initiated a system of water rationing and led foraging parties into the deeper parts of the forest, using her knowledge of edible roots and leaves to supplement their dwindling food stores. She turned despair into action, transforming a challenge into a testament to their collective resilience. Her strength was not the loud, aggressive force of a warrior, but the enduring, life-giving strength of the baobab tree that shaded the village square. It was a strength rooted in compassion, collaboration, and an unshakable faith in her people. She lifted others by reminding them of their own power. She would often say, "A single broomstick is easily broken, but a bundle is strong." Through her actions, she demonstrated that their greatest resource was not the rain or the harvest, but each other. Amara's wisdom was a community treasure, a well from which everyone could draw strength and hope in times of need. Amara's journey was not without its shadows. There were days of doubt, when the weight of her responsibilities felt heavy on her shoulders. She dreamed of things beyond the village, of seeing the great ocean she had only heard about in travelers' tales, a secret yearning she held in her heart. A trader once came to Umuofia and spoke of cities where women did not work the land but read from books. The thought intrigued her, planting a seed of curiosity. This inner conflict was her private challenge, how to honor her profound love for her life and traditions while still acknowledging the quiet whisper of her own unfulfilled dreams. She was not a simple caricature of a village wife. She was a complex woman with a rich inner world. She overcame these moments not by rejecting her life, but by expanding her definition of it. She realized that her wisdom was its own form of literacy, her stories their own kind of book. She began teaching not just the children, but also other women who wished to learn the old stories and songs, creating her own school under the baobab tree. She found a way to travel not with her feet, but with her influence, sending her knowledge out into the world with every child she mentored and every dispute she settled. Her dignity lay in her ability to find fulfillment and purpose in the world she inhabited, to make it larger and richer through her own efforts. Her story is important because it is a narrative of strength that is often overlooked. The world is full of stories about kings and warriors, but the quiet, enduring power of women like Amara is the true foundation of society. She represents the millions of African women whose pride, intelligence, and love are the threads that weave families and communities together. Her tale is a powerful counter-narrative to the tired, one-dimensional portrayals of African women as silent or oppressed. She is a queen, not because of a title bestowed upon her by a man, but because of the respect she commands and the legacy she builds with her own two hands. In the end, Amara's legacy is etched not in stone monuments, but in the hearts of her people. It lives in the way her daughter teaches the traditional dances with pride, in the integrity with which her sons lead their own families, and in the harmony that rests over Umuofia. Her life is a testament to the fact that one does not need to abandon tradition to be strong, nor does one need to be silent to be dignified. Amara's story is a beautiful, inspiring reminder that the most powerful queens are often not the ones who wear crowns of gold, but the ones who cultivate gardens of love, wisdom, and unshakable pride in